According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, about 6,000 babies are born with Down syndrome each year. As recently as 1983, a person with Down syndrome lived only 25 years on average. Today, the average life expectancy of a person with Down syndrome is nearly 60 years, and that figure continues to grow. Although the modern advancements in medicines, along with the fight to provide people with Down syndrome a better quality of life, are all partly responsible for this, none of it could be possible if it weren't for one person. Here, advocates will learn about John Langdon Down, the person who discovered Down syndrome. What is Down syndrome? Now, before going deep into some studies and discoveries, let's first understand what Down syndrome is and how it affects someone's life. Down syndrome, or Down syndrome, is a genetic disorder caused by the presence of all or part of the third copy of chromosome 21. It is usually associated with physical growth delays, mild to moderate intellectual disability, and certain facial feature characteristics. The extra chromosome is believed to occur by chance, with no known behavioral activity or environmental factors that change the probability of this happening. However, older mothers are more likely to have a baby affected by Down syndrome compared to younger mothers. People with Down syndrome can also suffer from other health conditions, such as a congenital heart defect, which affects around 50% of the population with Down syndrome. John Langdon Down, an early advocate. John Langdon Down was born in Cornwall, England, and was the youngest of 7 children. When he was 18, he worked for a surgeon in London. There, he had to do things like extract teeth, wash bottles, and dispense drugs. Apart from his work in social medicine, he also met Michael Faraday, who helped him with his work on gases. In 1858, he was appointed medical superintendent of the Earlswood Asylum, where he worked for 10 years. He and his wife took Earlswood from being a place where patients were tortured, punished, and uneducated to a better place where punishment was forbidden and replaced with kindness and rewards. Under John and Mary's guidance, the patient's dignity was preserved, and they learned things like how to ride a horse, garden, and make crafts. After resigning from Earlswood, Down set up his own private home for those with developmental and intellectual disabilities at Normansfield, where he provided shelter and education for 18 children. By 1876, the number of people taking in there grew to 160. John's desire to become a doctor developed after he met an unusual-looking girl when she was 18 years old. In 1866, he wrote a paper called Observations on Ethnic Classification of Idiots, where he introduced the theory that it was possible to classify different types of conditions by ethnic characteristics. At that time, he classified people as Malay, Caucasian, and Ethiopian, but the most common was the Mongolian type, now known as Down syndrome. Although by naming the conditions, his intention was breaking down racial barriers to the point where people from one race can look like people from another race, but it meant the human species could be separated. Unfortunately, people started using the term Mongolism and Mongoloids, as it referred to Down syndrome, in a derogatory manner. Thanks to Down's early studies, in 1959, the French geneticist Lejeune discovered the chromosome factor, which stated that Down syndrome was caused by an extra chromosome. An enormous field of investigation was opened up for modern genetics, and a new discipline was founded, cytogenetics. John Langdon Down was a man ahead of his time. He was an advocate for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, a strong practitioner of social medicine, and a defender of women's and human rights. And thanks to him, hundreds of people with Down syndrome had what they deserved: love, care, and education. In addition, his studies laid the way for many other discoveries that made the lives of people with Down syndrome easier. And that is all for now. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with all the people you know who support someone with developmental disabilities. And please remember, First Choice Family Services is your information resource for the DSP industry.